Sri Lanka's new leftist government is now implementing the very IMF-linked reforms it once campaigned against. The half-built Grand Hyatt Hotel is the first asset on the block in Sri Lanka's push to divest state holdings.
Within 48 hours of coming into power, they went into direct negotiations with the IMF, and they basically accepted the same guidelines and the same regulations that were given to President Ranil Wickremesinghe during his tenure.
Decisions on privatizing national assets should be done at a national level. Or whether we are keeping it or whether we are leaving them behind, it depends on the national policies. So the government is not necessarily adhering to some IMF agenda when we are making decisions on assets.
Under the IMF program, choosing not to privatize comes with its limits.
There are no quantitative indicators or specific mentions of SOE reforms in the IMF agreement from 2023. However, there are specific restrictions on how much sovereign guarantees can be given, letters of comfort can be given, and so on for the government.
One state-owned enterprise stands out, Sri Lankan Airlines. Once criticized, now shielded and no longer marked for sale.
It is strategically important. It's also on the assurance of the Sri Lankan Airlines current management that they believe that they can make it profitable. So we want to give it a try.
Can state-owned reform alone succeed without funding?
Now, where's the hundreds or even tens of new aircraft that this airline needs to really get going, become viable? That can't come from the government, where the government is fiscally constrained. It can't come from sovereign guarantees because the IMF program doesn't allow you to do sovereign guarantees above a certain level. Where is it coming from? The only answer seems to be some kind of private ownership.
The government insists it's not shifting ideology.
We are not ideologically, inclined to privatize or keep it under state control. It depends on the asset. It depends on how important the asset is strategically for the government and the state, and how much burden it is transferring to the people, and whether we can actually reform them and take it forward.
For the Sri Lankan government, the task remains to balance principle with pragmatism, recovery with restraint. And for the people, the enduring question is whether this path will lead to stability or further economic boost. Lahiru Doloswala from Colombo for TRT World.